Hello and welcome to the On Air channel. I am your host Ellie Jńe, and today we are going to make a scrap card for Thanksgiving. I'm really excited about this idea because I'm actually just kind of putting it together. I had some remaining scraps from the last project when I made the stationery set, and I was like, hey, you can make this into a card, and here I am going to give it a try. So hopefully this video goes well and I did not waste any time. So I'm still using the Fall Tapestry Recollections paper pad. This is a 60-pound paper, and it has 48 sheets, and it's a 12 by 12 piece of paper. So I already selected the paper that I wanted out of this, and I also purchased some paper, or my brother got me some paper from Hobby Lobby that is 12 by 12 as well. So this is going to act as like a background too. But yeah, let's just go ahead and get into it, and hopefully this shakes out the way that we need. So the first thing that we're going to do is create our base, and this is very important for us because, you know, we're kind of building on this. This is just kind of how my mind is flowing. This is a 6 by 12 base. What I'm going to do here is really just take the time out and score it down the middle. Make sure you do not cut it in half, but I'm gonna score it as at 6 inches, and let's bring it up a little bit. No, let's do that. And we want to make sure that we don't do a very tight score because we don't want to like cut the paper, but it's right in the middle, and this card is going to end up being a 6 by 6 card. Now, I usually, you know, chomp the edges or curve the edges of, or the corners of this card, but we don't know how it's gonna look, so let's just give it a chance. I'm gonna put this off to the side. Alright, so the next thing that we do, since we have our base, and it's going to be it could either be a flip down or it could open up left to right if I would like. I'm not too sure yet. I'm gonna open this back up, and I'm also going to do a cut for, what was it, 5 3/4 by 5 3/4. So let's do that, which is slightly, you know, smaller than the 6 by 6 card that we just cut out. So this is going to act as a, let's see, 5 3/4. This is going to act as a border. So we're gonna, and it's going to be a back facing border. So let's see, it's going to fit on your card like this. So that is perfect. All right, and is this the last of it? I think that's the last thing that we have to cut out because everything else can be scraps. Again, you can use, instead of using these triangles, I had some scraps left over that was like rectangles. So you can also do the same project. It's just all about how you shape it. But for the most part, we're gonna get started here by just flipping this paper over and gluing it down. And I'm using the ALEENE clear gel tacky glue, and oh, it stopped up and I just used it too. That's what I'm looking for. So I'm just going to go ahead and glue this down, and it's going to take its time going because it loves to do that to me. And I'm making sure that the what do you call it, the corners of this, see, it's going in and out of focus. The corners of this is actually glued down. So what we're doing too is putting this base back in front, and then we're lining it up from the top to the bottom and making sure that it has an even amount of space all around. All right, let's bring this back out here. All right. So we laid this down. We want to give it a nice little rub. So as far as, let me see, the triangles go, I do like to place them first before actually, and they're going to be this way, where the triangle corners, or the acute side of the triangle corners, are going to be coming in towards the center. And what I usually find that works for this actual size or square is that the colors should be kind of, you know, opposite of each other. So you see the green is going to be opposite of the green here. The blue, of course, would go right here. Yep, like this. And then the pumpkin is going to go here. All right, so now I need to find my, I don't know what I did with my tape. I had a foam tape to lift these cards up because I could glue it flat, but it just has no interest if you do it this way, in my opinion. And I kind of just love the, you know, the slight shadow it gives off whenever you do have that dimension added to your card. All right, so I found my foam tape. This is just foam tape that I found at the dollar store. If you find that it doesn't stick for you, all you need to do is have your glue available just to set it, but you still can use the height of the foam tape to do the job. So let's get to it. I'm only cutting off this much because I really don't know how much I'm gonna need. And let's see. I'm really hoping that this like works out, because I feel like this would be so freaking cute if it does. So I'm just applying the tape here, and I'm going to kind of set it up right here just to see how it looks. It looks good to me, actually. I think it looks absolutely adorable, actually. So I would come back with the tape when I have some more, get some more tape, and put some more right here in the corner. So I'm pretty sure that there is a way easier way of like taping things down. I realized this is probably the more efficient way of taping it down because it at least has this back end corner secure. But for the sake of me just trying to wing it, this is literally my first time doing this card. So, all right, getting these scraps into a card. So all I'm doing here is taking off the back of this card here. And I'm going to find the middle. I'm basing it off the right hand corner in the middle of where I'm going to place my first card, my first triangle. So I'm pretty happy with that. I'm not going for super straight simply because I just feel like this is just a fun little project for me. But for the most part, I'm going to try to get it as straight as possible, but it just needs to line up. So this would be kind of like the way that, because this corner should almost not be touched by either one of these panels. And before you glue it down, you can still pick it up and move it back a little if you want to. And I'm going to actually do that. And I'm probably going to have to do it again because I kind of moved it back too much. But the whole goal is to make sure it's an even amount of distance between both the cards, the card and the back panel and all that type of good stuff. So if you have to move it over, but I'm just going to go ahead and figure this out, and you'll see me kind of do the adjusting process. Okay, so as you can tell, I have a nice spacing color swatch on this card. I'm actually pretty much in love with this. This looks absolutely adorable. I do kind of need to bring this over just a bit, like that. If it is the moving of these triangles is bothering you, you can definitely, like I said, use your glue to make sure that this is locked and loaded, but I am not too worried about it. But the next thing that I would do is take my die cut and some cardboard, chipboard, some thicker board, and a scrap piece of paper. I'm using a texture paper that's just like the panel on top of here. And I basically cut out 2 circles with my die cut machine, Big Shot, and I get this nice little circle with a border detail on it. And I just love these border details. So cute because it looks like they're stitching. So the first one is going to go on top right here. And in order for me to, here is another opportunity for you to use double-sided tape if you want it to have even more dimension. I'm fine with the flat lay. Let me see if I pick it up. Let's do it. Why not? I'm over here trying not to like waste my tape, but you know, it's meant to be used. Why am I like hoarding the dang tape? I'm going to have so many more projects. Just order some more, right? So I'm putting this double-sided tape on the back. And this is absolutely adorable. You can keep this here if you want to, but make sure it's centered. You don't even have to have this, you know, color paper on top of it, but I like it on top simply because it has a little bit of thickness added to it. So I'm going to use my glue and make sure that this is completely, here we go, flat. So I'm not using too much glue, but what I am doing is making sure that the glue is flattened, also not too wet. And I'm going to have to let this dry too so it doesn't unravel, but I'm going to finish this card just for the sake of showing you guys how to finish the card. So here you go, and look at that. Oh, it's so adorable. Just make sure that it is where it needs to go. And then of course I use my CRICUT machine to make the words thankful. So I couldn't decide if I wanted to have like gold on top, right? Like this, or if I wanted like gold in the back and then keep like the matted look on top of that, like this. I couldn't decide. I don't know. What is your favorite? I would love to know your comments. But you know what? I was like, well, since I have foil on top of my cards, I'm going to put foil on top for this tutorial. And I made sure that I made the words connect together, as well as they were no more than 5.34 or 5.75 inches. So what you basically would do here is you kind of center your card and see where it's at. All right, I noticed that's where it's at. I'm going to do my base first and move this out the way so I'm not distracted. And I'm going to glue here and then use double-sided tape, the foam double-sided tape on the outside. All right, so we got the double-sided glue, and I just love how lifted and pretty this looks so far. And you see it has a little bit of dimension to this card already. What? It was so fast. Okay, so the next thing that we're gonna do is take our letters and make sure that they're glued in correctly. So I usually like to make sure that when I'm gluing my letters down, that they are glued. You know, not the whole thing is wet because I don't want it to warp, but I want to make sure the corners are not popping up either. So I just lay them like right here. I like to use glue instead of tape because I do need that forgiveness if I have the letters a little bit off. You could definitely use tweezers instead of your fingers, so you can get glue in certain places instead of your hands. I don't mind for this project in particular, but sometimes I'm like, I got my nails done, I don't want glue on it. All right, so we got enough glue, I think. And I'm gonna get that aside. All right. So what I do is just take my time and lay the thankful right there. And there you guys have it. Oh my goodness, how adorable. These are so cute. So this is just a cute little card by itself, very simply made. You're using your scraps here with some other cardstock that you have available. You could definitely make sure that this lays flat by using, you know, I love using my coasters because it's very important we have nothing really lifted here. This gives a very leather look and approach. Y'all see that I got that clearly at Ross. But see, that's all you need to do is let it dry a little bit. And I'm gonna let it dry for a few minutes, and then I'm gonna come back and embellish this, and also have show you how I make the envelope. So see you guys in a bit. Okay, so we're back, and these should be dry and flat. How adorable is that? I'm so excited. It's so cute. I'm just going to bring it in closer to show you this shine and all the foil. So I think I did a good decision on like choosing the foil on top. So you're probably wondering, like, what do we do on the inside of this card? So I have, because it says thankful, again, you can choose whatever you wanted to say on top of here. Whatever, you know what I mean? But because mine says thankful, I had to find a sentiment that actually went well with the inside of my card, and I'm going to keep it fairly simple. So this is the Hip Stamp Hooray Lavender Lily Builder stamp set. And I chose the Sending You My Love. So thankful, sending you my love. And I applied it to my block that does not look super freaking clean. I usually like have it wiped down, but like I said, this morning I was stamping. But nonetheless, you know, I'll clean it later with my stamp cleaner. I'm using my pigment / dye ink, and I'm just gonna dye up, or you know, ink up my stamp. And I'm going to just make it very simple. I'm just gonna make sure that it's straight, and I'm gonna stamp it right at the top. Of course, you can do whatever design on the inside that you feel. You can add some embossing to this if you want to. You can do whatever you would like. I'm going to keep it fairly simple, simply because I do not want this to be another long video, because I love to make long videos. So I'm going to go ahead and close this, and that is what it says. Thankful, sending you my love. Very simple, very cute. The other thing that I wanted to show you that you can be able to do is add some embellishments to it. I have a couple of pearls that I wanted to add to this card as well, and I'm not going to do a lot, but I'm just going to do enough to make you know that this card is special. I took some time on this card. So I have a piece of scrap paper that I usually do for this part, and I just add some glue to the side right here. And with this glue, I'm going to use this tool right here from my CRICUT machine. It's really We Are Memory Keepers, because they always keep me strapped. But yeah, nonetheless, I'm just going to add a couple of these pearls onto my, you know, design. And I think a cute one would be right here. And I'm just kind of mocking where I want it to go with these dots. Look at that. So we're going to put that one here. It's a little bit smaller. And it just, what I love about this pearl versus doing like a rhinestone, is that the pearl kind of like brings it down to a glossy matted look, in my opinion. So let's just do one more. I'm going to do one right here. We're gonna just pick that on up. Uh-oh. And we're gonna set it right there. So I think that is absolutely adorable. That's all it needs. I'm not gonna go overboard. I think it's just enough. Besides, I don't want to use all my supplies if I don't need to, right? And it's already doing the job. But yeah, this is what it looks like whenever it's completed and it's done. This will conclude my small or short tutorial on how to make a Thanksgiving card out of your scraps. I hope this is something that you would like or adore and you give a try. Please let me know what you feel and think about it. And if you do want to, please tag me on social media or Pinterest. I would love to see what you come up with. And join my newsletter where you can be a part of my community to know when I post upcoming videos, whenever I have different merch out, and all those cool things that I'll be doing in the future. So saying that, I'm Ellie Jńe, your space curator, and I look forward to chatting with you soon.